Hi, coffee time friends. How y'all doing? It's coffee time. It's stormy time. It's Wednesday night. We're having well, I guess we'll have to change it. We was calling it a Winnie roast, but there'll be no fire and there'll be no roast. We're having hot dogs, potato salad, baked beans, and whatever other fixings people bring for our kids at church. And I'm just dicing up some beautiful purple onion for my baked beans. Wonder what Mama and John's gonna bring. I bet it's baked beans. What do you think?
Yeah.
Mama's kind of famous for bringing baked beans. And you know how if you get in church, you get with a group that you eat often. You start thinking, well, so-and-so will bring this and so-and-so will bring that. And you kind of get your think. You get into the niche. It happens in families, too, with Thanksgiving. And, you know, when you're in a new family, if you're married into it, you can't just jump up on Thanksgiving and take a pecan pie. You gotta have to, see who has already claimed that territory. You may have to start out with some kind of fruit salad. So everything's been claimed, and if we took, say we took something that a banana pudding that ain't so and so had. Well, everybody's going to be going, who do they think they are bringing banana pudding? Well, I guess they don't want my banana pudding no more. Well, you could cause an international family of occurrence. You really got to be careful. Same with churches and stuff. You can't just start, taking what somebody's already claimed as their fame. Here is 3 cans of Van Camp pork and beans. Just Van Campers.
I'll let you pour how much that you want in there.
Oh, I don't want any.
You don't want any?
No. I was on that spell for a while, then I got off from it. This is about a slice of purple onions. And I cut them up real fine. Know your audience. These are going to be churring. They probably won't eat these baked beans anyway. They'll probably go, no. But if they do get some of them, I don't want them getting a big chunk of onions and saying, oh, it's got onions in it, I can't eat that.
There you go.
Well, thank you. I got coffee and tea. This is y'all's sweet tea. If y'all aren't trying y'all's, try it. Delicious. So in goes the onions. Now, I'm not measuring this. I ain't got time for one thing. And I've done it 1,000 times. And you all will have to. This is 3 whole cans. You might just be making 1 can or 2 cans. So I'm putting in a good size of mustard. I'm going to say it's about a half a tablespoon. I'm putting in some pancake syrup. Don't come after me because I've heard it. I've got real maple right there in the refrigerator, but we tried it once and Mama said I don't like it. It's good. I'm putting about a good 2 tablespoons of just maple pancake syrup. It gives it that maple flavor. It gives it a little sweet. It's kind of good in it. This is ketchup. You may have to use every drop. If there's Kurtz, I like the Kurtz. It's good. I can get it. Probably I'll have to use all this ketchup. Because this is a lot of beans. I'll turn it upside down, let it sit here a second. It'll be ready in a minute. Now, brown sugar. I love the smell of brown sugar. And I'm going to put about 2 good tablespoons. Now, let's stir. Let's stir it up. I'm going to put a dash of salt. That won't make it salted. That'll make some of those other flavors pop. And I'm going to put a little pepper. Because that'll help it too. And this is Kurtz ketchup, but I'm telling you, I've tried different ketchups for years. Never did find any I liked. Nothing come up with Heinz. To me, anyway. Until I got a hold of this Kurtz. And it's our store brand there at the Save-A-Lot. And to me, I can't tell the difference in it. So if you've been paying high price for ketchup and you'd like to not, we still buy Heinz if we find it's one on sale. But really and truly, I can't tell the difference between the two. Let's give it a stir. I can tell when I look at it what it needs, because I cook it by sight mostly, and this ain't quite there. Mama does too. Can you hear Mama? Let's do a little bit more of some stuff. I don't usually make 3 cans, so I'm a little off on my
measurements.
Yeah, it's hard to do. I used to do a couple of cans, unless we are taking it somewhere. It needs to be darker than that. Do you cook by sight? I do by smell, by sight. I know what I want it to look like. If you fix a dish enough, you will know. How much ketchup have I put in here? Probably about 3 heaping tablespoons thus far. And I think we're there. Just got the color I was looking for. Mama, did I put everything in here? Sometimes I'll forget something.
I believe you have.
She says I have. I will put a little bacon grease in it when I get on the stove. That's the color I'm wanting right there. That rich, thick, dark color. Now, our baked beans never get a bake. They always are fixed in a kettle. We call this a kettle. A lot of y'all call it a boiler or a pot. We call these kettles. Skillets and kettles is what we have. And, oh, I know, the tea kettle. Everybody tells me that. We call a tea kettle something you put water in for your tea. We call that a tea kettle. We just tack the word tea on there. But everything else is a kettle. But we never do ours in the oven unless we do it on the stove first. Then we'll pour it in a casserole dish. And we'll lay some crumbled bacon on it or something if we're taking it somewhere trying to put it on the dog or make it look fancy. But as a rule, our baked beans are always stovetop baked beans. It's quicker, it's easier. Now, baked beans in the oven's going to take you a few minutes. Can you all hold on just a second? Mama, can you sing or something?
I don't think so.
Baked beans in the oven would take 45, 50 minutes. But baked beans on top of the stove, all I have to do is let them boil good. Now they will stick. You want to make sure you don't let them stick.
Well, you go talk. I'll take care of them.
You'll babysit my beans?
I sure will.
Well, you're the best babysitter, a bean babysitter I ever seen, Mama. Mama's a bean babysitter. She said, you go talk. So what y'all want to talk about? We've got about 15 or 20 minutes here. Hi, John and Mama. Hey, Linda. How are you? A little more brown sugar? Question mark. Yeah, Lee, I did. Hello, John and Mama from Vancouver, Washington. Teresa, I always kind of wanted to go to Vancouver. Seems like a lot of good movies was made in Vancouver. Y'all are crooked. My little tripod, after 4 years, it's about wore out. No dry mustard. No, Sheila, I put plain old yellow mustard in it. I have seen where people put dry mustard, and I do like the hamburger baked beans, and they have different stuff in them. We have not done that. Now, a cousin of ours used to always make them for our family reunions, and they were delicious. And I have got that recipe, and I will make them sometime. But for this, I don't. It's just the ground beef in the baked beans. Hello from New Hampshire. Well, hello, Penny. How are you? Watching from church, waiting for it to start. Brenda, you're early, or your church may start at 6. So you probably are just, we're 7 o'clockers. Ever make hoagie dip? Delicious. No, Beverly, if you'll send us a recipe, we'll give it a try. Hoagie dip sounds good. Just love watching you. Well, thank you, Carol. We just love having you here. Hello from Texas. Pauline, how are you? Howdy from Wyoming. You, that's you. Mama's asking. I can watch the beans if you get a phone.
Hello, did I catch you cooking?
No, yeah, it's all right.
No, if you're cooking, I'll call you back, okay?
She ain't cooking.
I ain't fixing them.
That's one of Mama's friends.
Oh, well, yeah. I was checking to see how your pets come out.
Let's see. Hi, John and Mama. Love your supper. Stay safe from the storms. Yes, Mary. We've got a lot of storms marching through. We had storms here about all night. It rained about all day today. It rained about all day yesterday. And the storms last night, they were quite noisy. And there's several flashes of lightning. So we got our share of that. In my bedroom, I don't hear the rain. I do in here because it hits on these roofs out here. The porch roof and the sun porch roof is 10. So we wanted that because I want to hear the rain. But back in that part of the house, can't hear it. I did last night. It was that hard. So the fur babies have been on the porch. It was even a little bit hard for Abby to get out and play around. Good afternoon, John and Mama. Hey, Brenda, how are you? Hey, Tammy. We add brown sugar, yellow mustard, ketchup, syrup, and green peppers, and onions, too, with bacon strips and bacon. Yummy. Tammy, it sounds like our recipe, except for them green peppers. We don't do green peppers. We do bacon grease. We keep our bacon grease. I never did like bacon in my beans. It just stays soft, raw looking to me. If I do bacon, I will fry the bacon, let it get good and crispy. And then I'll put the grease in the beans a little bit. Not a lot. I'm talking about a tablespoon. We're not saturating with grease. That just gives a little bacony flavor. And then I crumble that bacon out and put on top if I put it in a casserole dish. But now that's just the way we do it. People will put raw bacon in it, but then to me it just stays. It's not, but it doesn't look as good to me. And I think I don't like it. That when it's not fully done. Let's go over here to the stove. It's already boiling. I don't think Mama put bacon grease. This is a bacon grease thing. It's got a screen on it there. I'm just going to put a little bit in here. Even if Mama put a little more ain't going to hurt. Stir that in. That'll put all that bacony flavor in there and that goodness. I will taste them before I take them. Always taste your food. You never know. Something might have changed. Or you may have left out an ingredient. They smell just like good old baked beans, though. And they look just like them. These are stovetop baked beans. They're simple and easy. You're going to get the same kind of situation. They may not get quite as thick, but that's not one of my favorite part of baked beans anyways, when you get a casserole dish and it's real thick. But these are super easy just to do right on the stovetop. What's your shortcut? You know, we have learned because we're doing lives, we have learned a lot of times we can shortcut something a little bit on the cook time by either parboiling something, like if you're going to have casserole with potatoes or carrots or something like that. Go ahead and boil them, get them good and soft, and when you put them in your casserole, they're going to cook in about 20 minutes. So if it would normally take, say, 50 minutes to do a casserole, then it would be maybe 20 minutes because you already parboiled some stuff and got some things cooked. Like, a lot of casseroles, you can add raw chicken to it. We'll go ahead and cook our chicken and everything in it, or broccoli. We may parboil it a little bit. That way it cuts way down on the cook time while we're filming. And we have learned that works no matter what. So even if you're not going to be having to try to do it in 20 minutes, it makes your supper come along a lot faster. A whole lot faster. I'm kind of constantly stir this because I don't want it to stick. That brown sugar and that syrup that's in there will cause it to stick a little bit. It does cause a commotion. I don't like this on my kettle. Don't want that on the edge. Now it's starting to rise up to meet me. That makes me know it's going to be in a big bowl in a minute and I won't be able to stir it down. And that's where you want to get it to. Slide it over there a little bit. Turn that down. Once it turn it off, set it back on that hot burner and it'll boil. If I don't stir it, it'll be splatting everywhere. And I don't want that. So I'm going to stir it. Once you turn the heat off, it's still got enough heat in that burner to let it boil good. And once it boils good, you're good to go. Now look how good. And that'll just sort of bubble up there. Cooking everything in there. It'll cook those onions. It'll cook the beans. Gets everything right where you want it. And that's the whole bean process. Now those are ready to serve. I know, I just messed that back up, didn't I? You back to babysitting?
Yeah.
Alrighty then. Folks, that's all we're doing tonight. Mama, you gonna cook anything else?
No, sir.
I'm taking potato salad too, but I ain't gonna lie about it. I bought it. And I'm taking it in the bulk container. I'm not even dumping it in Tupperware to pretend like I made it.
Ain't no sense in it.
Well, I don't want people thinking I made this.
Yeah. You sound like June and her cornbread.
I don't want people to think I made it. That's just a big old pound of it. 2 pounds. 2 pounds of tater salad. I used to know somebody who'd buy these, 3 or 4 of them. Put them in a big old bowl, put some paprika on them, slice some eggs. Everybody at the gathering said, she don't make that. It tastes just like that you buy. You haven't fooled nobody. You can fool people every once in a while. But you
For a
can't
little
fool.
while.
You can't fool them with the potato salad. Mine don't taste anything like this.
No, it don't.
But you know what? And I don't mean this in a bad way. Maybe it will sound bad when I say it.
Well, maybe you shouldn't say it if it's going to sound bad.
No, I'm going to say it because it's the truth. It depends on where you're going. If you're going somewhere and they ain't going to care, why go through all that extra work? I mean, they're going to eat this just as good. And this is probably what they eat at their house because they probably ain't making homemade potato salad. If you're going somewhere where the people's going, this is just as good to me, it don't matter. There's a lot of effort goes into real potato salad. A lot.
Oh, yeah.
So this is going to serve the purpose, and them youngins is going to eat it, and them adults will too. And but if you was going somewhere to Thanksgiving or something, put forth the effort, get the good dishes out, make the good homemade potato salad.
Some of the kids will eat that and the baked beans, and some of them won't touch nothing but the hot dog.
Now I know you could apply the same principle to the baked beans. I could have got 2 or 3 cans at the store, put them in there, heat them up, and done. But Mama's baked beans have already claimed their fame, and they would know if they wasn't the real thing. So, and we like them too,
Yeah.
don't we, Mama?
Yeah, I do. I'm freezing.
You feel cold.
I am cold.
Your little hands feel cold. Folks, this is all we're going to do. I'm going to box this up and get ready and tote it out there, and they'll eat it so good. We was going to have good old-fashioned tailgate weenie roast with a big old roaring fire, and them young'uns was going to run themselves some mischief, and that's going to be so hot and sweaty, and it was just going to be a night to remember. And we was going to have a big old table. We was going to fight the flies and the gnats and just be so glad to be there. And, we was going to be hollering every 5 minutes, put that stick down, you're going to put somebody's eye out. It's on fire. Quit. Don't. Get out of that fire. Don't be in that fire. Watch it. Step back a little bit. We was going to be doing all that and having a good time doing it. But with the
That's part
storm,
of it.
it is fun. But with the storms and it raining, and we got rain tonight, so it's not even going to let up. We moved into the kitchen, and I'll tell you why. Because we've canceled twice. We've been playing this whole event 2 times, and both times, I think we could probably go on the road to some of these places that don't get rain, and we could just plan us a cookout or a weenie roast, and it would bring rain.
I wonder if
just
we
joking.
get paid for that.
I don't know, but this is the 3rd time we've tried.
Yeah. And it's too bad to let them
I'm not
have
going to
it.
cancel again. I told them even Sunday, I said, we planning on good weather. If it ain't good weather, we will just move it in the kitchen. Now, since we're not getting to have a real fire, we'll probably try again in October.
Yeah, we'll have to have them once.
We'll try again in October and try to have a little cookout. But that's an onion.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't want to cancel this.
They can
twice.
eat inside as good as outside.
3rd time cancel almost seems like just forget it. I want them to
That's
enjoy
too
it.
much disappointment for little fellas.
We did have something last time for them inside, but it wasn't this. I don't remember what we even had, but so this time they are going to get the same food, and we'll play games, and they'll enjoy it. But sometimes you just gotta say, do with what you got to do with.
That's right.
Folks, I'm gonna drink this sweet tea. Y'all's tea. This is just plain tea. This has no flavor.
It's decaffeinated, so we can drink it later.
It's decaffeinated, so it's supper tea. Tastes so good. It just tastes so good. And I'm not finished this cup of coffee too. I've got my tater salad. And I've got my baked beans.
And you're ready to.
We're ready to roll, ain't Mom? Head them out, move them on. That's all we got tonight. Mom, you got anything you want to add?
No,
You got your orange and brown on. You look like fall tonight.
I do, don't I? But I'm cold anyway.
How's your shingles?
My shingles are better.
Good. You're feeling good today. That's good.
They're better than they was.
That's a good thing. Folks, thank y'all for being with us. We appreciate you so much. Ketchup syrup. Yep, I've hung y'all up right there.
I reckon.
Storms in Georgia. Pray for all the people in the
Pray
path
for
of the
worse
storms
storms.
and the hurricane. I think this hurricane is going to be some kind of something other they're calling it.
Was there a tornado touchdown somewhere?
I don't know.
Or
Have a
part
great
of the
time.
hurricane?
There's something about this storms. There's a low front and another, and they call it a battle. And they're going to join and maybe make one storm system or something.
Ooh,
I forget
don't-
what she called it.
That don't sound good. That sounds scary.
You know, when you hear something, you think, well, I'll remember that. Well, you don't remember it. I don't, but they're going to do something. So be praying for this storm system coming through and the folks in its path. And this rain that we're getting even today. I think it's supposed to rain a lot this week.
Yeah, about every day.
But that's fine. We'll take it.
Good Lord knows what we need and don't need.
We ain't planning no more cookouts this week, so we should have looked ahead and seen the rain. I thought, well, you know.
It changes so much. so
Right.
you can't go right.
That tea don't change. It's good every time, never drop. All right, folks. Y'all have a blessed night. Say good night, Mama.
Good night, Mama, and God bless you all. Have a wonderful night.
Y'all have a good one. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.